I suppose the first thought you have when you have a relapse is this going to be permanent? Is this going to be the one that means I'm never going to see again? Is this the one that means I may end up in a wheelchair? My name is Naomi, I am 37. I'm married to Ronan and I am mammy to Evan, who is 2. I was diagnosed with MS in May 2011. My sister had been diagnosed with MS the previous June 2010. Just after I was diagnosed, I had a relapse. So I was in the shower one day and turned around and scalded my right arm, but I didn't feel anything in my left arm. And I didn't realise that my left arm was getting burnt. Also extreme pain, so say if I knock my elbow, like you hurt your funny bone a little bit, it sends shooting pains up my arm. I also get what's called trigeminal neuralgia, which affects the nerve, so it's like an electric shock from my ponytail down to my jaw. These symptoms aren't constant. When I be stressed or if I'm tired, they tend to reappear more. I suppose the major one for me is chronic fatigue. And being a mammy, obviously that affects me hugely. So the chronic fatigue would be the toughest one to deal with on an ongoing basis. Yeah, we always knew we wanted to have kids. I mean, pretty much from the beginning when we got together, that was a given that we were going to have kids. Having been diagnosed with MS didn't change the fact that we wanted to have kids, but obviously there were concerns. It was obviously genetic, there was a link in the family. But I mean, it's the best thing that we've ever decided to do. So I wouldn't let MS put anybody off having kids. My biggest fear around MS before I became a mother was probably not being able to work. Now there's so much more. There's somebody relying on me, becoming immobile, losing my vision, the chronic fatigue getting so bad that I actually physically can't get out of bed one day. Even the fact, could we pass it on? Could Evan have MS? I wouldn't wish anybody to go through this, but I suppose the saving grace is that my sister and I have gone through it and seen the positive effects medication have now compared to, say, when my grandmother passed away. I suppose for everybody with MS, that is a big fear, that things are going to get worse. But now, as I said, the fact that Evan is here, I do worry constantly, is the next relapse going to be the one where my eyesight doesn't come back, where my legs don't start working again? So if anything, it's been a wake-up call to really look after myself more, because you have someone you have to look after in your life now. When I was diagnosed initially, I said to Ronan, look, I'm more than happy to call the wedding off, and his reply was, do you not have a seating plan to be working on? So Ronan has always taken in his stride, I think, and I think part of that is because we saw how well my sister was doing. Yeah, we are looking at the possibility of maybe building our own house, and we're thinking about single-storey, accessible, wet room, stuff like that in the future. And then the care options, yeah, the MS Care Centre is always there for respite, but Ronan would rather that it was all left down to him, and I don't want that. I don't want Ronan to be my carer, I'd still rather him be my husband. Ronan thinks that'll never happen, or puts it out there that he never thinks it'll happen, and I would like to be realistic and have this plan in place, so if worst comes to worst, that we're all set already, that he doesn't have to make these difficult decisions, as well as care for Evan or any other children we might have. And I find it upsetting that I see it upsets him so much. MS is not the life-limiting condition that it used to be. As I said, the medication I'm on wasn't even invented when I was diagnosed. I'm on a tablet now daily rather than having to inject. Looking after your mental health is hugely important, because most of the relapses I've had have been brought on by stress. And to get out there and do whatever you want. I mean, since I've been diagnosed with MS, I've walked the Camino, I've been promoted 3 times, I've done lots of stuff that I never thought I would do, and I think MS spurred me on to do that. So don't let it limit you, and don't be afraid.